Hello and welcome to Round 4 Flicks. In this video, we will discuss the top 10 best movies of 2024 so far. This year got off to an amazing start, with sequels set to become the biggest hits of 2024. These are some of the best action, sci-fi, and comedy films that you shouldn't miss. So let's see which recent movies have been worth seeing and which are the best so far. Let's now begin the video. Number 10. Land of Bad. William Eubank is the director of this war action film from 2024. The story centers on Sergeant J.J. Kinney, who after being enlisted in the military Special Operations Squad, gets involved in an important mission. His team is tasked with rescuing abducted fellow workers from the claws of regional militants. Kinney's talent becomes crucial when the team is ambushed, and his only chance of surviving is with Captain Eddie Grimm, an army drone operator. The movie definitely strikes a balance between respecting classic war films and portraying the brutality of modern warfare. The movie deals with a strong sense of realism and brilliantly portrays military themes, drawing viewers into the terrible conflict for existence. The intense risks and goals in each scenario keep viewers on the edge of their seats. The movie doesn't hold back when portraying the brutal and raw reality of warfare, including violent scenes and intense conflicts. The viewers find it both fascinating and painful to watch these events unfold. Number 9. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Guy Ritchie is the director of this spy action comedy film from 2024. The film takes place in 1939 and is based on real-life events revealed in British War Ministry documents. It tells the story of Operation Postmaster, in which the British Armed Forces recruited a highly skilled combat unit to attack German forces hidden behind enemy lines during World War II, comprised of various types of outlaws. In their adventures, this top-secret battle unit undertakes a dangerous mission to fight the Nazis using totally unconventional warfare techniques. Their brave strategy changed the course of the war and established the foundation for contemporary Black Ops and the British SOE. The film's unfettered action and portrayal of the Nazi rebellion kept viewers fascinated despite its cliched plot and occasionally slow pacing, and Alan Ritchson's personality generally offers extra strength when needed. The film uses a vibrant and aggressive depiction of World War II to present an interesting and mostly true story in a stylish and strong way. Number 8. The Promised Land. Nikolai Arcel is the director of this historical drama film from 2024. The story is set in the 1700s, when Jutland's pristine grasslands were under the authority of Danish King Frederick V, who wanted to use them to cultivate land, advance civilization, and increase royal profits. But nobody wants to go to the heath because of the order and the fear of its hazards, which include wolves in rainy conditions. However, soon after, a desperate soldier named Ludwig Colin comes to the desolate Jutland, intent on following the king's orders and developing the country for wealth and fame. But Frederick Schinkel, a crafty landowner who feels he owns the heath, swiftly comes to dislike him after his wife and Barbara and Colin flee to safety in refuge. Schinkel puts a lot of effort into dragging Colin back and exacting revenge. The story changes from being a glorious story about rural survival to one that is passionate, fresh, and motivated by political conviction. It is remarkably wide in scope, packed with historical detail, and cruel in its depiction of how evil men would stop at nothing to keep their power. Mads Mikkelsen gives another powerful performance, and this film should appeal to anyone who enjoys historical epic dramas. Number 7. Lisa Frankenstein. Zelda Williams is the director of this comedy horror film from 2024. The story takes place in 1989 and centers on Lisa, a high school senior who is single and feels resentful about her situation after her father remarries and moves in with his new partner. Meanwhile, Lisa is struggling to adjust to her new environment and seeks refuge in the quiet haven of the nearby graveyard, where she becomes particularly drawn to a young man's Victorian near a grave site. However, when thunder strikes the young man's grave and his body strangely comes back to life, Lisa makes the decision to keep her newfound love for zombies a secret from the world and retrieve the body's missing parts to preserve his life. The film's strong pink and blue aesthetic helped to capture the spirit of the late 1980s, and the costumes are stunning, brilliantly portraying each character's unique personality. Overall, the movie has a fantastically entertaining story that revolves around Lisa's obsessive quest for body parts and her impulsive desire for romance. However, it is a great movie, although there is a gap left by the unsolved mystery of Lisa's family. Number 6. Monkey Man. Dev Patel is the director of this action thriller film from 2024. The story revolves around a man named Kid, who wears a gorilla mask and competes in underground fighting arenas, but his boss mistreats him and only pays him when he bleeds. On the other hand, he has a terrifying grudge and dark memories of childhood tragedies. However, when he discovers the existence of crime boss Queenie, he devises a cunning scheme to break into her inner circle and punish the individuals who have stolen everything from him. The reasons behind his retaliation are hidden in the past, which you will discover as you watch. The film pays homage to classic action films like John Wick, but it also stands out for its audacious cinematography, selecting dramatic angles that intensify the emotional impact of the story. Although the action scenes are visually and narratively stunning, the movie's pacing is awkward, and its supporting cast is boring. Overall, Patel has made a very satisfying start as a director with his first feature film. Number 5. Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. Adam Wingard is the director of this sci-fi action-adventure film from 2024. It is a follow-up to the 2021 film Godzilla vs. Kong and begins with Kong having fun on the Hollow Earth while Godzilla remains on the Earth to fight titans that pose a threat to peace. However, when Kong finds more of his species in the Hollow Earth that is under the control of the creature known as Scar King, who possesses a frost-breathing titan named Shimo, he is forced to work with Godzilla in order to stop Scar King and Shimo from harming the surface. The movie gives us more details about Hollow Earth's past while exploring deeply into the mysteries of Skull Island and beyond as well. If Scar King were to take on Godzilla, he should have been more like a terrifying beast than an imposing opponent. Although the story is simple and occasionally unremarkable, enthusiasts of the MonsterVerse will enjoy the epic battles between Godzilla and Kong, which are the highlights of the film. Number 4. Dune Part 2. Denis Villeneuve is the director of this epic sci-fi film from 2024. The story starts soon after the first film concludes and centers on Paul, who reaches out to the Freeman people when House Harkonnen kills his father and his army overnight through deceit and treachery in order to take control of planet Oricus. Freeman, who was initially reluctant to welcome Paul and his mother, eventually embraces them into their community and teaches them their ways of living and fighting, while Paul discovers his true mission as well as the truth about his strange vision and the people who call him their savior. Along with realizing his true purpose, Paul builds a massive army of Freemen against House Harkonnen, who are preparing an invasion of Freemen in an attempt to take control of spice, the most valuable resource on the planet. Dune earned an impressive $500 million at the box office upon its release and received very positive reviews due to its amazing visuals, exciting action, and superb directing. The film was a bigger success than the first one and paved the way for the Dune Messiah sequel. Overall, you won't see this kind of film very often. It's a massively immersive epic that defies all film standards. Number 3. The Beekeeper. David Ayer is the director of this action thriller film from 2024. Jason Statham, one of the most well-known actors in action movies, further enhanced his already remarkable resume with The Beekeeper. The story starts with landowner Eloise Parker, who ends her own life after losing $2 million to hacker groups. Eloise's tenant beekeeper, Adam Clay, was shocked to hear of her passing and vowed to exact revenge on the scammers by embarking on an energetic and daring journey to track them down. The fact is that Adam is not an ordinary beekeeper. He was formerly a member of the Beekeepers, a deadly covert organization whose goal is to use any means required to maintain peace in the nation. In terms of action films, John Wick raises the expectation so high that it will be difficult for any upcoming film to match it. This film keeps audiences interested from start to finish with its straightforward yet satisfying premise, even though it's not as good as Baba Yaga's Revenge. It also did well at the box office, taking in over $150 million worldwide, so if you've been searching for an entertaining action movie, you should check it out. Number 2. Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. Gil Kenan is the director of this supernatural comedy film from 2024. This is the sequel to Ghostbusters: Afterlife 2021 and takes place 3 years after the events of The Afterlife. The story revolves around the Spangler family, who brought the renowned New York City firehouse back together to work with the original Ghostbusters, who had set up a secret investigation center to keep looking into supernatural activity. The story opens with the unearthing of a powerful evil force through the finding of an ancient artifact, which forces the newly formed and previous Ghostbusters to team up in order to protect their planet and prevent another ice age. The film lacks originality, but it does have some nostalgic allusions to the approaching collapse of New York. The story recalls elements of earlier films and introduces a new demon named Garaka, but it lacks emotional depth, particularly in Phoebe's story, while balancing multiple character storylines and featuring some amusing appearances. It is noticeable that Ivan Reitman is missing from the movie, which makes this addition enjoyable but also disappointing. Number 1. Damsel. Juan Carlos Fresnadillo is the director of this dark fantasy film from 2024. The story centers on Elodie, a young woman from a small town who accepts a distant kingdom prince's proposal of marriage. However, when she gets to the palace, she meets the royal family and finds herself in a dark cave, where she quickly learns that she is being used as a means to fulfill the royal family's prevalent debts to the dangerous dragon, and she must escape while dodging the dragon's attacks, which have started to follow her like many princess stories. The movie deals with themes of deception and redemption, but it seems more like a survival story than an entirely fantasy. Nonetheless, there are some incredibly thrilling scenes, particularly when Elodie has to face a dangerous dragon and the silence of a cave. The film's concept mostly relies on cliched character journeys and weak plot elements, but Millie's performance is outstanding despite the lack of dialogue, and the presence of the dragon is fantastic. That is all for today. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel to view future videos about suggested movies and television shows.